So that was my different kind of style of video where I just have a shot on said phone. In this case the Vivo X80 Pro. With that you also discover a lot of things about a phone, especially when it comes to having situations where the sun is out and of course trying to make a video that works well. One thing that I discovered, there aren't many places here in the Netherlands where I feel like nature is really beautiful, because we don't have any hills. Most of it is just simply flat. So I have to play with what I have basically to make a shot that works well. Now one of the things that I definitely noticed while going outside and of course filming this is that the display definitely isn't bright enough. For instance, when I'm holding it down and I don't have full control, because there are some shots where I'm of course sitting down, having the phone and just standing up slowly and getting the phone right in front of you to make a shot that works well. Either way, what I definitely noticed is that during those situations where it was down and of course at an angle, I didn't have enough brightness to properly see what was going on the screen, so I just had to trust the process. That's definitely a thing where I felt like it could have done a little bit better. Also, of course, when it comes to video recording at 4K and 60 frames per second, the periscope doesn't support that, if you are wondering. What I also noticed is that the 2x zoom isn't as good in terms of quality, but it still works fine. It switches sometimes between the shots, because in some situations you need to be closer to the subject. Your eyes, for instance, can perceive something to be much closer than it actually is. So therefore I sometimes need to have that possibility to zoom in and then have a shot that gets closer to the objects that I want to showcase. It doesn't always work, but you know what, it works well enough. However, as stated, it doesn't have the same quality as the main sensor. The main sensor is actually really good, especially if you shoot in 4K and 60 frames per second. You can play around with the speed of it as well, which I did according to the music, of course. The other thing is that you also have some filters. Now most filters are for stills, I will have to say, especially for taking shots of people where I really do like it. It is a really cool feature to have on your phone. And I think that's one of the coolest features on, of course, the Vivo X80 Pro. Having those Zeiss optics inside, but also those Zeiss filters really do add some kind of character to the shots, depending on what kind of shots you're making. I'm gonna show some images, of course, in between here. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this different style of video where I just showcased the camera capabilities. But at the end I will have to say that the camera quality is actually really good. And having those filters on there is one of my favorite features, especially, you know, like I said, having a picture of someone or having a picture of a flower, with just simply having that size button on top. It can create some really beautiful shots with a lot of character to it, and I do really like it when an image doesn't have too much saturation or too much going on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and of course if you did, don't forget to leave a like, hit subscribe, hit that bell icon and so on, and of course a full review is coming as well. Anyway, have a good one and talk to you guys next.